Hello and welcome to this new video tutorial of Magento 2. In today's video tutorial, we'll be checking out our new plugin, that's the multiple address label for Magento 2. Now this particular plugin allows the customers to set the shipping location name as home, office or others during the address selection. The customers can add additional address entries with the address alias as home, office or others. In case of others, the customers can set the label for the address as required. The additional address entries with the address alias are visible to the customers at the shipping address selection section. At the shipping selection section, the customers can also add a new address with the address alias as required. So basically this particular plugin provides the store admin a facility to uniquely identify the address of the customers as home, office or others as specified by the customers there. So the admin can enable or disable the status of the plugin. The admin can enable or disable whether the alias field is required or not. Customers can add address alias from the account panel, and the users can also add a address alias from the shipping page as well. The address alias will reflect in the orders, invoices, shipments, credit memos and the email for the order placement as well. So in today's video tutorial, we'll be checking the workflow at the customers end, how the customers would be able to add the additional address entries along with the address alias there, and the rest of the workflow there, and the rest of the workflow at the admin's end as well. But before I proceed further with this particular video tutorial today, please do subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to receive the latest updates from our end. And if you find this particular video helpful, then do kindly give it a thumbs up. So right now you can see that we have the default billing address and the default shipping address here that has been set up by the customer there. You can see that I've already logged into my customer account, that's the Smith Doe. And here I have a section with the name additional address entries. So here you can see that for Smith Doe, I have set up the street address, city, country, state, zip code as 9007, 0004 and 0001. And the address aliases for the same are home, office and brothers flat. Now let me show you how we can basically add these things up. So let me remove these additional entries that I've added here. Now these additional entries would also be visible when you are going to the checkout page by tapping here on the proceed to checkout button. So let me show you that as well first, and then we'll see how we can add the address aliases for a particular shipping address there. So here you can see that here we have the home as well as the office. And if I want, I can add a new address alias as well by tapping on the new address on the checkout page under the shipping address section here. So if I tap here on the new address, you can see the new address section has appeared in a pop-up here for the shipping address. And here you can see that we have made the save address as the particular address aliases are provided here, like home, office and others. And this is a mandatory field that needs to be selected by the customer while they are saving their particular shipping address there. So for example, if I'm going with this particular address here, let's set it as 9009 and let me set it as others. If I choose it as home, then it would be set as home. If I choose it as office, then it would be, this address would be saved as office. If I choose it as others, then I'll be able to set up the label for the same. So let me set it as rented flat, and save in address book has been checked here, and let me tap here on the ship here. So here you can see that the particular address that I had set up, the address alias for the same is visible as well, that's the rented flat. The other address aliases are also visible, like home, office and the rented flat as well. Now let's go back to the account panel of the customer there. So under the address book, here you can set up the address aliases for your different addresses. To add one, what you can do is you can tap here on the add new address button that you have under the address book section. So if I tap here on the add new address, the particular section for the add new address would be popped up, and here you have this section that says save address as, that is mandatory whether it's a home, office or others. So let me set it as this address and let me set the zip code as 9009 Let me set it as others, let me set it as brothers flat, and let's tap here on the save address button. So you can see the same has been saved here, brothers flat, office and home. Now whenever the customer makes a checkout, let's see the checkout process there. Now let's after adding these address aliases for the different addresses that we, or the additional address entries that we have added, now we can proceed further to the checkout. For example, I've added a product there, I can proceed to the checkout thereafter, and on the checkout page under the shipping address I'll be able to see all of the particular ones or the address aliases that I've added. So here you can see that I have home, office, brothers flat, rented flat that we had already selected there, and accordingly the customer can choose any one of them. So for example, let's choose this one, that's brothers flat. Then the customer will see the address alias here at the top, that's the brothers flat, and then he can tap here on the next button to proceed further to make the checkout. Here I make my billing and shipping address are same, and you can see that the address alias is visible here, that's the brothers flat. The same is visible here as well, brothers flat. If you want to change the ship to, you can tap here on the edit button as well, and then the customer can agree to the terms and conditions and can tap here on the place order button thereafter. Now these address aliases would be visible as well to the customers after they have placed the order within the order history. In the admin backend panel, the admin can view the address aliases in the order, invoices, shipments, credit memos, and the customer can also see the particular address alias in the email for the order placement as well. So you can see that the order has been placed and the order number is 39. So as a customer, if I view this particular order, here I can see the billing address, that's brothers flat alias is visible there, and the brothers flat address is visible here. The shipping address is brothers flat and the shipping address is visible there, as you can see itself on your screens there. Now let's hop on to the admin backend panel. So up till now I find that you might have understood how this particular plugin, that's the multiple address label for Magento, works. So basically this plugin allows the customers to set the shipping location name as home, office or others during the address selection there. They can also in advance can save the particular additional entries by going to their address book and saving those address entries, or at the time of checkout under the shipping address selection they can add a new address and set an address alias for that particular address as per the requirement there. So you can edit or delete the address aliases as well from here, or the addresses can be edited. If I tap here on the edit option, for example, you can see the edit address section has appeared. Now I can change it to from others, I can change the name here, or if I want to make it as office, then I can make it as the office or home as per my own requirement there itself. Now let's hop on to the admin backend panel of the Magento 2 and let's log into the Magento 2 by entering the username, password and tapping on the sign in button thereafter. Now the very first thing that we'll see is the initial configuration settings for this plugin. So for that we'll navigate through stores and then configuration. On the configuration page under the Webkul block here, you'll find the customer address alias settings. So I'll tap on that and that will bring up the general settings, as you can see. So here you have the option to enable or disable the module on the store front end. So you can choose it as a yes or a no, yes to enable and no to disable this functionality for your store. And whether you want to make the customer address alias option that the customers get, like home, office and others, if you want to make that particular thing address alias as mandatory, then you need to choose this option as a yes, otherwise you can choose it as a no there. Now coming to the sales section, for example, if I go to the orders section, the order that we had placed a moment earlier, if I go to my orders here, the latest one is order number 39 here, for which I had selected brothers flat. Now if I choose and view this particular order in the admin backend panel and I scroll down here under the address information, the admin can see the address alias as brothers flat, the shipping address as brothers flat itself, right? Now if I generate the invoice for this particular order, let me generate the invoice. Within the invoice as well, you can see we have the brothers flat, and let me submit the invoice there. So the invoice has been generated. Now if I go to the invoices and I view the particular invoice, the address alias would be visible here within the invoice as well. Now if I'm printing the invoice by tapping on the print, let's save this particular invoice. As soon as it has been saved, I'll be opening it up to show you the address alias is visible within the invoice that we have printed there as well. In the meantime, if I go to sales and orders once again, and I go to the particular order, that's the order number 39 here, I'll view it up. And if I am generating the shipment for this order, for example, if I tap here on the ship, the new shipment generation page would appear, and here as well you can see the shipping address is brothers flat and the billing address is brothers flat. Now the invoice has been downloaded. Let me open this up. Within the invoice as well, we can see sold to brothers flat, the address alias shipped to brothers flat is visible here within the invoice that the admin has generated for the order number 39 there. Now let me go ahead and let me close this out. So on the new shipment, if I scroll down and I add the tracking number and the details here, and I go ahead and I submit the shipment there, the shipment would be generated, and on the shipping label as well we can find the particular thing there. So here already you can see that we have the brothers flat as the shipping address and the billing address as the brothers flat itself. So you can see that the shipment has been created. Now if I go to shipments, here we will be having the particular shipment. Let's tap here on the view shipment. If I scroll down on the shipment, here we have the brothers flat shipping address, the billing address as the brothers flat. Now if I print this particular shipping thing to download the packaging slip there, let the packaging slip download itself. After it has been downloaded, we can view the details of the address alias there for the respective address for this particular shipment that we have already created. So let me open it up. So here you can see that shipped to brothers flat, sold to brothers flat is visible to the admin there, right? Now the same details are visible within the credit memo as well. So if we are generating a credit memo for the particular order there, that's the order number 39 for example. If I tap here on the credit memo, here you can see the shipping address is brothers flat, billing address is brothers flat, return to stock has been selected, refund offline. The credit memo would be generated. Then we can check the details of the credit memo by going to the credit memo section as well. So the credit memo has been generated. Now if I go to the credit memos, here's the credit memo. I tap here on the view button or the view link. I scroll down. Here's the shipping address within the same, the billing address within the same, and here we have the brothers flat. If the customer would have chosen it as the home, then it would be home. Otherwise, if it was chosen as workplace, then it would be workplace. Otherwise, if chosen as others, the particular label that the customer would have set up for that particular shipping address would be visible here to the admin as well. Now if I go ahead and I print the particular credit memo, and let me open the credit memo. Let's open it up. So here as well we can see the brothers flat is visible, the address alias is visible here as well within the credit memo that we have generated for the order number 39 there. So yes, that was much about the multiple address label for Magento 2, and I hope that this particular video helped you out in understanding the workflow of the same, how the customers can add additional address entries with the address alias as home, office or others. In case of others, the customers can set the label for the address as required. The additional address entries with the address aliases are visible to the customers at the or on the shipping address selection section. At the shipping selection section, the customers can also add a new address with the address alias as required. So if you still have any questions, queries, suggestions or requirements regarding this particular plugin functionality, then you can anytime get back to us at support@webkul.com, or you can raise a ticket at webkul.uvides.com as well. Apart from that, if you find this particular video helpful, then do kindly give it a thumbs up. And lastly, thanks for watching this particular video and have a great day ahead.